of the day, how it useful to all.
This call
Thank you
is
so
now
much.
being recorded.
Thank you so much, Dr. 𝗥𝘁𝗁𝗿. That was a quite interesting description. Now, moving to next part of agenda, introduction to trainer. Today's trainer is Mr. Annamalai Selvam. He is a full stack developer, mentor, and tech speaker, and so on. We welcome you, sir. Now, I request Dr. 𝗥𝘁𝗁𝗿 to hand over the proceedings to the trainer.
As the floor is open to our trainer, let's be rock all by gaining the knowledge of today. Welcoming you, sir.
Hey guys, you can call me by my name. Yeah, so are we waiting for anyone, or can we get started? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So are we waiting for anyone, or else we can get started?
Yes, sir. Can we start?
Okay, so am I audible now? Is it better? I heard still no. Is it fine now? Is it a bit slow? Okay, is it fine now? Is it better or still the same? Okay, perfect. Okay, let's get started then. So, yeah, so welcome guys. So, yeah, so it much probably okay. Give me a second. Okay, yeah. So let's get started. So I welcome you guys to this 3 days of what to say, kind of it's maybe a glimpse to the web technology, or I'm not sure how many of them already having a decent or intermediate knowledge about it, or else if you are newbie, that's not going to be a problem. So we're going to start it from right from the scratch. So that's our agenda. So yeah, I just plan to have a kind of 3 different session. Kind of let's get started with the beginner one, maybe kind of little bit of to get started with from the scratch, I would say, for today. So probably by in a day or tomorrow or day or so, probably from the 3rd day, right? So hope hope everyone can get into the speed, I guess. So before setting up the before getting on to the webinar, right, I just want to call it out loud, is like there is no 0% of requirement you need to be a, let's say, to follow this session, right? So all I need to do is maybe you just follow, or you just stop me wherever. So maybe you can ping in the chat so that if I go typically fast or maybe slower down, so whatever. So feel free to stop me so that it's not one way or me. So I never like that to be just I want to going at loud. So I just need a two-way communication so that at the end of the day, hope whatever you gain, so you will be getting beneficial. It's not like a typical kind of between a session kind of just gonna be a one way. So hope I looking for good response from you guys. So without wasting any more time, let's chip into it. So yeah, so I just want to know, so hope you guys have joined the session, or you may have a big what to say, it's kind of what's your expectation on this, or else I just want to really know, so what's your level of this web development, right? It's maybe kind of, are you a beginner, or you are intermediate, or else you are from other department, you want to chip into it. So I just want to know, because based upon that I need to plan the session, because if everyone is beginner and if everyone from other departments would like to kick into this, right? So that I will slow it up, or else I can meet I can have a good normal speed. That's why I just want to know. Okay, you can just ping. Okay, okay. So I could see most of everyone is a beginner. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, beginner, intermediate. Okay, some I could see intermediate, beginner. Okay, maybe I give a next 1 minute for to get this response. Okay, probably 90%, 95% I would see is a beginner. Okay, that's great. That's really great. So really good to her, like someone to get into this technology and this in 2020 year, right? So there is requirement for everything. So also choosing, you can choose this one also, maybe after this whatever the session you gave the knowledge, right? You can find this is really super simple. So that's where I can assure kind of stuff. This is just pretty much normal kind of to get started, like so compared to the other technology. So this one getting into this field, right? So it's pretty much super easy, I would say, compared to the other. So yeah, so I just receiving the response, beginner, mid app also. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, thanks for the response. Okay, so I could sense about 95% above. It's more or less a beginner one. Yeah, that's fine, totally fine. Yeah, thanks for the response. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, is my screen visible? No. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Okay, yeah. So present, yeah. So probably getting into this one, right? So there are tons and tons of what to say. There is a lot many things in this to get into the IT field, right? There is lot many roles and lot many what to say technologies available. So among them, this is one of them. So basically, as what is hope I will say what is the best part of this, right? So it is just super simple. So like I already mentioned, right? So it won't require a high level, I would say. So it's not about gaining a big amount of knowledge, kind of just sitting per daily hour, spending too much hours. It's not really like that compared to the other technology. So that's where you would see there is a lots of demand for this job, because you just consider, right? So in this world or in this arena, so hope everything, it's nothing but at the end of the day, even for a Fortune 500 company or whatnot. So without a web or without a website, nothing is exists, right? So whatever the product you use, maybe a mobile app, maybe we can take it later. So what kind of stuff the company build, so but they really need of website. Even for the software, they need recurring a website, or it's kind of viewing their data. So this is very pretty simple for everyone. So let's say so using a website, right, it won't require high amount of knowledge, right? So consider from basically from other devices, maybe for mobile app. So that's where it differs. So compared to the web technology and mobile app, is like kind of mobile app development, it may require some amount of work to be done, because it's everything rendering based upon the OS, right? So best part of this web one, right? So it's just the browser rendering. So it just everything takes part of it, right? So it's not about you just write code once. So kind of framework, right? So there is plenty of framework. If you ask me, if someone asks me what is 30 years back, right? So it's tedious. For 30 years back, web technology is tedious. That's because there is no such frameworks. For today here at maybe for past 5 years, there is lots of frameworks built for web technology. So kind of I just don't want to get into that earlier now. So for now, we just have some quick intro of this one, right? So coming back to the point what I'm discussing, right? So it's just the thing. It's just we gonna render into just a browser. So it's not about a native one. So there's no lots amount of work to be needed. Just the concept, I would say. It's not of mugging up the concept. It's not of syntax you mean. So the only thing is you just want to understand. That's the most best part of it. It's not about remembering the every syntax before what to say interview and just throwing to the interview. It's not like that, right? So it's just the understanding. You got it basically maybe from this webinar, or you just take it offline. So whatever, you just understanding your topic, because mugging up at the end of the day, it's kind of a foolish thing. That's no use in it. So that there's a many things to be followed. So syntax just a part. Syntax is not the full what is it? It's not about the full driven approach. It's just the part. Okay, main thing is the business logic. To get in the business logic, you need to think. So you never stop thinking of the logic. We will just get into that. So yeah, before so hope you everyone are saying about the web technology, right? So web technology or web development. So what is exactly it? So some say it's a kind of everyone may be hearing it's a web job. It's kind of web developer job. So what's the exact thing it's so before taking jumping into the before getting into any technology, right? You just need to understand what this exactly is before whatever you study, right? That's a basic rule number one. Second thing is you just follow what is exactly it. So it's just a kind of to put it in the simple words, right? It's nothing but it's a wrapper, I would say. So web technology or web development, it's kind of what to say, it's just the wrapper of everything. Let's say what is a wrapper? If someone asks, it's just the HTML we be using. There's a hypertext markup language. So HTML plus CSS and some bit of JavaScript. So this is enough for a typical old school web page, right? That's it. I will just get into it. What is HTML, CSS, or JS, or whatnot? So I will get into it. But it's just something. It's HTML. It's gonna be a wrapper. It's gonna wrap everything. It's just wrap everything into a container. Like what to say? Like some. It will just dump everything 3 into 1, so that that's browser rendering, right? So you will be typing something in a code base like format .html file. I hope you know .txt file stand for text files. For HTML, you need to say for .html. So we will get into that. So that's it. You just gonna save it in .html file. You just gonna open it in the browser. Boom, that's it. It's just gonna render in whatever the browser view. It's irrespective. Maybe it's a mobile view, mobile browser view, or it's a desktop view. It's gonna render itself. So it's just HTML, nothing but just see HTML. It's a tag. I would say it's a tag for that. Let's say if you need to add a text field or a password field or a link routing between the two pages, it can be done by the HTML. And predominantly for next stuff, right, like CSS and JS, I will take into the next slide. So yeah, so also there is a API. If you see here, right, in this slide, if you see there is a, I just gave overview of HTML, CSS and JS. I will be taking in the next slide. So probably in the API, right? So what is API? So just to put it in the simple words, right? It just communication. So if you need a person A, person B, right? There is if you need to interlink both of them, we need a connection. So basically, that's the place API. So basically, API stands for application programming interface. So it's nothing but it just gonna hit the database and you just gonna take the fetched data and it's just gonna throw into the front end. So okay, so front end is typically is kind of a wrapper of HTML, like HTML, right? So HTML, CSS, and JS, which is rendering in the browser, right? So in a browser, so predominantly these three will be getting rendered, like HTML, CSS, and JS. And from the JS, so there is an API call. So what I'm saying is like kind of if let's say there's a person A wanna do a text to a person B. What you need to do is simply person A wanna make a connection. For a connection, there's need some connection between the two two different user rights. So that's where API plays a role. So it's just gonna interlink between two, and this is for high level overview. If you just dig into it to API standpoint, it's just gonna at the high level sense, that's it. To be, if I wanna explain you guys what is API, it's just gonna make you the connection. It's just gonna fetch the data. You just give it to you. Let's say if you're asking for what is the date today, if you ask to the Google search engine, typically a Google, so it's just gonna take your input as a data. I mean date as input. It's gonna it's just gonna take your data as a input, like a date. So it will just gonna fetch into a DB. So maybe current technology, maybe even a server, right? So there's a server time. So it's just gonna render in the browser. That's it. So predominantly in that, to say at a high level, right? So it's just the whatever the you ask, it will give. Whatever you to keep it simple, that's it. This is a front end. Front end is a website. It's a browser view. Whatever you were asking, right? So that will be it will be calling to the server. So from server you will be returning as a data. So that's where API takes place here. So if you just a high level overview. So probably in the next few after section I can explain you deeply what is API kind of stuff. So once again, if you see the Bootstrap, right? So here in a Bootstrap, what is exactly? It's a B stand for Bootstrap. So let's say for a normal typical page to build a website, you just need for HTML, JS, and CSS. That's it. It's enough. But none of the user like the simple design, right? Nowadays, there is a website with the boring 1980s design. Who will look into it, right? None of them will be looking, and most of the comments will be it's poor design, or it's not up to this decade or so. Like, so that's where to scaling the stuff. CSS, it's fine. CSS really helps you to scaling the pages, but Bootstrap is really will take all the boilerplate code. What's boilerplate code? It's nothing but doing the same thing again and again. It will remove everything. So let's say instead of writing 10 different lines, Bootstrap will help you to write only single line. Okay, If you take CSS, you need to write 10. If you CSS stands for cascading style sheet, basically to style the web page. So to style the web page, we'll be using CSS. But what's the problem of using a CSS? So it will just it may looks good, but it will add so many big boilerplate code to your code. That's where to me optimized, or you need to have some don't need to overcode it. So there is a default library. So here, right, nowadays there is lots of external libraries available. That's where my next topic is. That's Node. So before getting on to that, right, there is lots of libraries in this available nowadays compared to the previous 20 to 30 years back, right? Nowadays there is lots of libraries, so that's why it's not you are a part to write everything, right? You just import it, that's it. It's not for you to just write from A to B, A to Z. You don't need to write A to Z. You just need, if you whatever you need, you just take, that's it. It's a library. If let's say it's a Bootstrap is a library. So let's say instead of writing A to Z, right? So instead of writing a full base code, you can just pick whatever you want. Instead of writing everything, you can pick everything what you want. That's it for Bootstrap. So next thing is Node. What is exactly it's Node? It's really a super, what to say, it's a really hottest framework, I would say, in this 2020 or upcoming years. It's everything, it's a kind of pretty much popular for past 5 to 6 years. So what is exactly Node? So it's we'll be getting into that once we are looking at the framework. Like for now, what I explained is what is HTML and CSS and JS. So this is fine. This is fine to write. This is fine to what to say. This is fine to build a web page, but it's not fine to build a super cool optimized way. Okay, it's not about to fine tune, right? If you use these three, right, HTML, this is the basic concept. Okay, we need to get into the basic strong. That's where the first agenda of this webinar. So let's get in the basic stuff as well. Okay, after that, so if you call what is the Node kind of thing, so it will just add extra top of the layer. So it's once again a wrapper, I would say. So everything, right? So HTML, CSS, JS, with everything will be wrapper into a framework. Okay, that's where we will be what to say, it's a wrapper once again. So in that wrapper, like there is lots of framework, like there is Angular or React or whatnot. There is plenty Vue, or there's lots of framework, or daily there is publishing maybe a year or so. There's plenty of framework. So it gonna wrap everything into a single one. That's where Node will be playing a role. This is one use case. After that, one more use case is like, let's say you need to import one package, right? Coming back to the Bootstrap, I said it's a library. So this has a library to importing the every packages, right? So we can use a Node. There is, they used to call a NPM, Node Package Manager. We will get briefly into it in upcoming session. But for now, right, it's a kind of library. By using the import, we can do everything. So yeah, guys, this is just a brief, I would say, high-level overview of this one. So yeah, if you have any other queries, you just stop me. I'm not sure I am going too fast, or just I am going like tortoise or speed. I'm not sure. You just ping me whatever you have a doubt. So yeah. So I just pass for a moment. Let's see any comments there. Node, okay. It is used to test or open application. Okay. Okay, if you are good, I think we can move further. Okay, yeah. So yeah, whatever, right? So feel free to stop. Just don't put everything. You just don't want to mug up anything. So whatever, if you don't understand the concept or whatnot, you just stop me at the any moment. Okay, so yeah, this is what I gave just a high level overview. What exactly the difference of this HTML or CSS or JavaScript. So it just adds some extra points to it. So let's say just HTML, it just gonna have some tag in the sense, let's say you just want to put everything into together, like heading, right? For heading, it will have one tag. For paragraph, it will have one tag or whatnot. Everything, it will be HTML. It's nothing but it will be rendering as a tag based one. Everything you write, you will be writing into tag. So that is what a typical HTML. So as well as like already you said, right? So CSS is just a adding these styles to it. So without a CSS, your page will looks like old school way back 1980s page, right? So it will be nothing like a plain screen. So no one likes that. So that to incorporate, right? So there is a CSS part involved. So it will just add the styles. And JavaScript, yeah, I just want to take some minutes to talk about this, because here in the JS, right? So typically it will be called as JS. So here, consider using HTML and CSS. You can build a page, you can add design to it, but it won't be interactive. Okay, you can just see, you can see the web page, or you can just have the high level overview. You can interact with anything. It's like seeing a movie on the web page, right? So you can't do anything, nothing, but you just watch the web page. But that's not our goal, right? So consider we need to interact with the website. Like say you need to, if you click on the button, it should respond. If you do something, or if you wanna submit the form, or if you submit a rating or whatnot, if you play around with the web pages, so you need some interactive one, right? So that's where JavaScript plays a pretty much vital role. So that's where it's chipping. So here consider JS kind of it will just do interaction. It will just start the interaction. Let's say if you click on the button, right? You need to call a function. Typically, I'm not sure the function, right? Let's say, not sure how many of them from background of CSC or whatnot. But the thing is, typically there is a function. If you want to do a thing, let's say if you want to calculate your age, you will be calling a function. Let's say inside a function, you may have the current date and the DOB. So based upon that, you will be calling. So output will be, you will be returning that function as a value is the output. So to do this, right? So in a, let's say in a typical web page, in a front end, you will be getting the current data. Maybe it's 2020. You will be giving us an input. Also, if you click on the button, so there is a button, so you can add a style using CSS. Okay, so that's it. But if you want to do some calculation, or you want to do some action, right, in the website, you need to have an interaction based one. So that's where JavaScript plays chips in. So like already said, so once clicking on that button, right? So let's say submit button, right? Let's say you just give an input as a current year, and you just clicking the button. So it gonna call a function, which I mentioned earlier. So it will just gonna call that function. It will do the whatever the process, which is eventually, okay, that's where the business rules, okay, maybe business rules or business logic or whatnot, that's within the function. That's where you will be writing everything what you require. So that's where you will be calling a function, right? So you will be getting a interactive based one, right? So in a web page, if you need to do some interactive one, that's where JavaScript plays a role. So clicking on the button in the front end, so it will be in the invoking function. So what will the function do? It will just go there, it will do the job, and it's once again return back. It will be displaying output. So that's where, so what to say, it's, yeah, web development is nothing without these three, right? Without HTML, you can't have CSS. Without CSS, you can't have the JavaScript. If everything on missed out, and something will be missing in the web page. So it's three things, it's mandatory. So after that, this is the without this three item, you can't build any web page. Yeah. So yeah, let's get some into some demo stuffs, right? So I just don't want to get you guys bored by looking at this presentation. So yeah, I once again stop here. So let me see. Okay, so, can I speak once you are done? Yeah, you can. If you need it, you can text now itself. Anyway, we have agenda like 1 hour of the section, like 4:30 to 5:30, right? So we'll be having a 1 hour full-fledged session. So after 5:30 to 6, we are planning for a QA. So that you can even you can ping here if you have a doubt. You can just ping here, or else we can take up at 5:30. That's up to you guys. So I think I just okay. What's the doubt? You can just ping in the chat. Yeah. If else we can move on. We'll wait for minutes or so. Okay, is this webinar is available on another platform like YouTube or FB? Yeah, the Sridhar, I think probably I'm not sure about that. I think the someone can answer it. Is that Logeshwaran in the call? He can take up the question. Okay, one more question, sir. Yeah, you can just remove the share in the chat. You just ping my name itself. So okay, in HTML we have interactive button. So what this makes difference from this? Okay, what is you mean of interactive buttons? You mean like CS? You mean like what to say? You are referring to the styling part, or what do you exactly mean of interactive button? Yeah. You can ping your doubts. So feel free to ping there. So yeah, what does interactive mean? So we just ping here. I will quickly share the. It is similar in Python or not? Not exactly, right? So it's not exactly. It's like of Python or other programming language. So let's say, right? Typically, what's web development? It's not a programming language. So whereas Python is a programming language where you code, here you won't code. So typically here we won't call it as a coding part, where it's kind of a developing a page or building the page. That's where think there is a difference between a programming language and hypertext or markup language, right? So programming language, it's everything driven based upon the syntax or whatnot. Here it will be in HTML or here it will be driven by the tag. That's where I will give the tag button. So that's yeah, to answer to your question, right? So Python is a different one. That's a programming language, whereas in this one, right? So it's a typically everything is a tag based one. So there's lots of difference between the two. Okay, so I will give the tag. Yeah, Shruti Sharma. Okay, I will give the tag as a button. Yeah. So yeah, if you give us a button tag, right? To answer your question, right? So if you give a tag as a button, yeah, it's still a button. At the if you look at the web page, it will be looking like a button. But the thing is, if you just click on that, right? So it's nothing happened, right? It's just a normal button. You just need to invoke a function. So invoking a function, what to say, inducing a event, right? That's where JS chips in instead of even a tag, even a tag in a form, right? We will get into it. I just don't want to rush too fast. Even in a tag, in a form tag, there's a form tag. You may have the buttons tag or whatnot, input type as button, but it's neither or less. You need to trigger a function, right? You need a JavaScript. That's where it will be difference between the normal JS and whatnot. So this one, which platform is at least for this practice? Okay, I will go one by one. So, what is the best framework language? So, framework is neither. Okay, so framework in the sense, right? Like I already explained, it will just gonna make our process simple. Typically, you can remember this sentence, right? Don't reinvent the wheel, right? You just don't want to reinvent the wheel. Kind of instead of you building the entire from the scratch, framework gives you the better what to say. It will just help you to cut the boilerplate code. Hope you remember what boilerplate is. Yeah, it will just don't want to do same thing again and again. It will just give a predefined stuff. You just need whatever you need. You just gonna do it inside. So that's where framework will be plays a screen role. So in the framework, it's not about best one or what is worst thing, right? To answer to your question, so it's kind of it's not yes or no, or it's not choosing the best framework. Is it okay? It's purely based upon the requirement. Okay, for some requirement we can go with the Angular, for some requirement we can go with the React or Vue or whatnot. It's purely depends on the requirement of the project or the product. If you get into the IT stuff, IT industry, right? So it's purely based upon the product. So it's not about the which is the best or which is the not feasible. But to make it simple, right? uh, I would say React is one is the easy thing. So Angular, you for Angular you need to plenty of groundwork needs to be done for Angular. So if you compare to if you ask someone Angular or React, React is super simple compared to the Angular. So if someone want to get into a framework, if you want to get start into it, so I will suggest you to get started with React instead of Angular. Okay, so I think it's plenty of question is coming ahead. Okay, okay. What are the major web browser? What are the strength and weakness? Okay, what is a major web browser? It's nothing but right. It's nothing browsers. It's nothing but whatever the browser the user use. Maybe it's maybe a Chrome or whatnot. That's where the it's not about the what are the major web browser. I could not able to get that question. I'm not sure what is the strength and weakness involved in it. I think yeah, I think you can ping once again. Okay, Angular JS Vue are the best framework for JS and React. Okay, so which platform is net used for? Okay, it's not okay. Someone asked, it's like 𝗥ощ𝘁𝗿𝗄𝗯. So, which platform for? It's not a platform. Like, yeah, I will show you the demo. So, how to run this one? It's not you know you just no need any internet connection for this normal building web pages, right? You just you can instead of net, you can build on your local. So there's no internet required. You just for a tool you just install VS Code. That's preferable. So not sure how many of them you're in front of the PC or laptop. So yeah, so for web development, so or full stack development, prefer VS Code. That's it will make your life simple instead of coding everything. So this is one. So kindly share the link. Okay, I am learning React.js. That's super cool. React's great. So is super easy? Yeah, exactly. It's so we should use three language or only one among the three. Actually, yeah. So it's not about three. So it's not about the three language. I would say it's everything is a three is a one. Okay, we need everything. We need HTML, CSS, and JS. You just don't see as a language. You just see as a item level, or else you just see as a component level. So you just don't want to differentiate like any other things. Like you just don't want to compare like Python or Java or whatnot. It's not like that. You just need for if you to host a web page or to see your code in the web browser, right? You just need these three stuffs. Even you can ignore JS. If you need to interactive one, you need a JS. So it's not about default. We need a three. Yeah, without any of the among the one, so it will be website will be totally fishy. So one more thing, yeah, I think we will you just drop your the question, so I will once again come back here. So before I will answer these two, so it will be a problem if someone familiar with JS or JS. Okay, it's will it be a problem? Someone's no, it's not, right? So everyone maybe it's not familiar with JS or say CSS, right? So even everyone, even best what to say, best developer in the world, he may doesn't know the everything, right? So that's fine. That's totally fine. But at the end of the day, if you just have the willingness to learn, that's totally fine. So it's not mandatory to be familiar with everything. You just do googling, right? You just google everything. So see, if you want to be a good developer, right, it's not about knowing every syntax. So it's kind of over engineering. Okay, so to be a good developer, you need to know how to google stuffs really well, because for everything you can't remember everything, because there's plenty of things happening here, right? There's plenty of changes in the framework or the syntax. It's not mandatory to put everything on your head. So that's where, to be a good developer, you need to know how to google stuffs. I know it sounds weird, but that's the damn truth. Without googling, you can't be a better programming, okay, so programmer. So that's where I just calling out. So it's not mandatory to keeping everything on your head. You need to know what is this, what is this, what is that. That's it. So if you're working on it, right, if you want to build a web page, right, you feel free, you just hit the browser, so it will throw you everything, right? So it's not mandatory to keep everything on your mind. So about, okay, I think there's plenty of question coming ahead. So yeah, I will once again answer this. I just don't want to hold everyone for this. So we'll for next 10 minutes, you can ping the question. I will once again revert back to this. I will for now we will just once again have some demo for the HTML, so that we can have some interactive session. Okay. So I will once again share my entire screen. Screen. Okay, hope my screen is visible. Hopefully it is okay. Yeah, so instead of just going to PPTs, so none of them will be pretty much excited, right? So PPT will be boring, I do know, but to get in the basic, so we need some PPT kind of stuff. So that's where I just made the use of the PPTs. And I also credit the what are the details in the PPT. I like to credit the Medium website, so that's where the blog. So I will credit them. So to coming back to the this one, right? So yeah, so I just tell you anything. Okay, yeah. So basically, what I said is have this VS Code, right? So you just have this one. So this is the one of the coolest editor, I would say. So you can use this. So probably this one. So extension, you can, there's pretty much you can install whatever the there's a lot of extension available. Let's say, so typically if you are someone, you are viewing the VS Code for first time, right? Let me explain what is the extension does for you. It will just do everything for you. It won't do just something, it will almost do everything. So it will do all the boilerplate code, or whatever the what to say, whatever the basic level of syntax, right? It will just give you everything. So if you just install a couple of things, right? So if let's say I already installed it, so let's say HTML boilerplate, so it will give everything as it is. You don't want to type everything. So these are the couple of extension you can prefer. So you can prefer using it. So not prefer while you are having the interviews. I'm just referring for your personal project. And this one, okay, let's get into this one. Okay, yeah. So let's say, right, so typically already mentioned, right, so it just the HTML format will be saving like .html file. This is one. So afterwards it's like kind of what to say, like I already said, everything will be rendering within a tag. Okay, so instead of typing everything, so there's lots of tags. There is for a paragraph, you will be having paragraph tag. For heading, you may have a heading tag. So there's plenty of tags. So let's say, see, so using the extension, right, you can simply do like HTML. That's it. So HTML boilerplate. See, that's it. It will just gonna give you every code. It's a simple template, I would say. It will just give you the overall entire flow. It's not need to for. I will explain what is the doc type or what is head or whatnot. But typically, it will just help you to give you whatever the template kind of thing. You just don't want to type everything. It will just predefinitely gives you. So if you missed it, you just type HTML, and if you choose a basic template, boom, that's it. It will give everything based upon that. So let's get into it, like, right. So what is doc type? So for everything, so what is the type of the document? So we will be mentioning as HTML. That's where a doc type is. So if you see here, right, so everything will be contained within a tag. If it's HTML, it will be contained inside a tag. If it's a head, it will be contained inside a tag. If you see here, right, if I highlight here in a head, so everything will be contained in the tag. So it's nothing but if you gonna type, if you're gonna add a tag, you need to have a close tag. This is the opening tag. If you for a closing tag, you need to add this one backslash, so that it will be closing. So this is the one for HTML. This is for us, it's HTML based one. So we will be importing, we will be having like HTML. So this is the head one, right? So this is a head tag. So what is the use of head tag, right? So let's see if you take here, right? So let's Chrome, yeah. So normally, so this is the head tag. Okay, in the head, what I mean is in the tab, right? In the browser tab, you may see like get started with the web developer, whatever the heading or whatever the icon, right? So this is comes under the head. Whatever you give here, right? Maybe a title. Let's give demo web app. If I'm gonna say this, and also this is one, I will save this. I will open it. So if I open this in a browser, yeah, so Chrome, yeah. So yeah, if you see here, right, if you see her in the top of the page, like if you need to add icon to this one, you can add this one. So predominantly, if you need to add to the top of the tab name, you can do it within the head tag. So like we gave here as a demo web app, like a title. So it's everything rendering here. It will be like rendering here, and as well as let's get into a meta. So there's a tag for meta. So this is very this is very important tag, I would say, because here you can give the description of your website. Let's say, right, so normally the Google search engine, what will do is, so it will search for the tag, it will search for a description. Let's say you are searching for food, or what to say, for searching for some of social media, or some of the GitHub repo, right? So if you type the in the search bar, so it will search for description. If you the content, right? So this is a demo web page, okay? So let's say if you give us this, okay. So I'm just adding a description, and for the content, I'm just adding it's a demo web page. Let's say I'm hosting this single HTML page to the server, and if someone types the exact word or demo web page, so the Google search engine will know this one. So it will, based upon the content of the web page, they will render you the pagination, right? So they may have the tens of pagination, maybe kind of 1 to 10, right? Somewhere in the browser, somewhere in the pagination website, your page will be there. So that's where pretty much important thing, we need to give some keywords, right? So that your web page will be popping up in the web search instead of staying maybe in it won't be staying back if you doesn't mention it explicitly here. If you mention it based upon the search of the user, so they will do a sorting with the web browser. I mean the search engine. So what is the viewport, right? So let's say normally a website, it's not designed only for the laptop view or desktop view, right? So it should be responsive for even for the mobile or tablet or whatnot. For that, you will be writing a CSS. We will get into that. Before doing it, right, there is a concept kind of, you just want to name it as a viewport. Viewport is nothing like you are rendering the browser, right? So let's say this is a browser. So everything is rendering. So whatever the code we are gave, so it will be rendering into this. So that's where you need to render. Let's say for inside the content, right, we gave the width device as a width of this as a device width. Okay, what does that means? It's like based upon the device width, it will gonna automatically set to the width as well as the initial scale. Let's say this initial scale is for zooming the website. Let's say for some website they will be zooming the totally of 50%, some maybe of 100%, some may of 150. So based upon the 1, 2, 3, the value you give, it will be getting zoomed. So after that, this is this we need to link the style sheet. Nothing. Style sheet is nothing but the CSS stuffs. Okay. In the style sheet, you will be giving the. You need to name. This is RL. It's refers to the what you are referring to. This is the referring to the style sheet, and href. It's it will be linking your style sheet. Let's say I'm opening this browser. This is my tab folder, right? Let's say I am having a one more file. Okay. One more file as a CSS. I will be naming styles.css. For CSS, we need to mention the .css file, and for a file type, you need to search for CSS. And yeah, so this is the CSS stuff. So for this one, let's say for a p tag, for a paragraph tag, I just had some font size as 5 pixel. I will explain you. For I just for high level, I just explain here. So we need to link, right? We need to let's say this is the directory. Okay, in this directory. So what I'm seeing is there is a HTML page as well as there is a CSS page. We need to link this style to this demo so that it will be while rendering. So it will take this this as input. So that it knows HTML, this page knows there is a style page, or else if you are not importing that, it won't know. So from here you need to import this, right? So if you just click nothing, guys, if you just click control space, it will gonna mention what are the files it's inside present. So you just gonna mention like style searches. So that's it. So this is the body tag. So that's it. Instead of head tag, we just made some title as a demo web app, and inside this is the body. So body is nothing but the whatever the content of here, right? So content of the website. Basically, in the head, you will be having that the name of the web page and logo. Body, that's where the website will be rendering. So whatever, let's say. So let's type this is a demo website. Okay. So this is one. So I am already having a style for the paragraph tag. So let's say for everything, right? We need to put everything into a tag. Let's say this is a one tag, right? So this is one of the paragraph. So I'm just putting this one inside this. Okay, that's it. Sorry. So this is the body tag. So instead of body tag, we having one kind of sentence that's will be rendering into the p tag. P refers to the paragraph. For that, we have opening tag and the closing tag. For now, we don't have any script. We can ignore this one. Okay, if you just once again. Okay, yeah. If you see here, right? So whatever you type here, whatever you just give inside here, right? So it will just gonna pop it up here. So that's where body, whatever you giving into the body, it will just gonna render here. So after that, maybe a button or whatnot, we will just see after this one. So everything inside the body tag, it will be typically rendering into the website. So this is one. So let's say I am just gonna increase. Okay, so so basically, so this is nothing but overview of basic HTML with CSS, adding it to it. So let's add one button to this so that we can have some responsive one. So after switch, so tell again we use meta. Okay, so I would see some of the. Okay, there is something. Okay, so can you tell me why you wrote meta? Okay, so coming back to the meta, right? So it's meta. There's 4 to 5 reasons, right? So for one thing, for a viewport. Viewport is nothing but so based upon the device, it will render. Based upon the width of the device, it will render automatically. This is one using of the meta tag. Also for description, like already said, right? For the description, for rendering your website to the if you type something in the Google, if you search something. So if you have a keyword which match with your description, it will be popping out in the pagination. Maybe if you have 1 to 10 plus pagination, if you search engine, Google search engine gives output, right? Some part of that it will be put in. It will puts your page well and above than the irrelevant one. If you are having the content, if you have a description and content which is a relevant keyword, so it will really helps you to popping out your website in the pagination of the Google search engine. So that's the most use of the description viewport. So that's where we used meta tag. Hope did this answer your question? So this one, let's say you have a web page named inside. Okay, while accessing the website, or where we need to hide what we are accessing. Like I wanted to use website.com. Okay, okay, what's the doubt it is? So I wanted user to see only the website name.com instead of showing the entire directory of the URL /HTML. I wanted to see if it's, yeah. So basically it is. So let's say you have a website called 𝗥𝘁𝗿𝗄. Okay, you bought a new domain, so you have your domain. You bought a new domain and you wanna host on page, right? Let's say you wanna host one sample page. For that, right, let's say the sample page is like you mentioned, abc.html, whatnot. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to redirect. Okay, you need to redirect that page to your custom page. So that's where you can do it in the hosting, right? Whatever the hosting server you are using, so we can do it in the hosting part. It's not mandatory to bring in to this code level, so that whatever you are whatever the domain you bought, so you can redirect the your host or your page, right? Whatever the page you built, you just gonna redirect that page to your domain page. So basically we can do it via in the server. Yeah, this is one. So after 6, okay, after 6 p.m. Or in some time. So what's the I could not able to get that. What is after 6 p.m. or in some minutes? Oh, do you have some other questions? Okay. Oh, okay. That's not for me. Okay. We last section you can clear it up. So, okay, sure. Okay, I think there's not a pretty much a question outside in the chat box. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So coming back to here, right? So let's do some coding so that we can wrap this one. So let's say, right, so we need to build something interactive, so that let's add a, is it someone saying anything? Okay, so let's say,
எங்க தெரிஞ்ச பையன் அவன் ஊர்ல இல்ல ஃப்ரெண்டோட ஃப்ரெண்டு ஃப்ரெண்டோட ராகேஷே வந்துட்டு யாரோட ஃப்ரெண்டோ.
Participants, kindly unmute yourself.
ராகேஷ் யாரோட ஃப்ரெண்ட் நம்ம தெரியாத பசங்க நம்ம எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணி பேச மாட்டோம்.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable presence by today. And thank you so much, participants, too, for joining with us. We will now circulate a Google form as a feedback and attendance of the day as a workshop 1. Is it audible?
Yes, it is audible.
Yeah.
oh, I think my mic was muted, so that's where I could not able to connect with you guys. Okay. Yeah, let's see. You just like they mentioned, you just fill the form. I think we can get back tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's fine.
Yeah, so maybe in the comment section, right?
Yes, sir.
In the chat section, you just ping whatever the queries you have. I think we have some minutes to address those. Yeah. Okay, what is the, I can't understand the last part. Okay, what is the last part you mean? Is it what, JS, or what do you mean?
His mic is muted, sir. When are the forms going to be distributed? May I know?
Our trainer has facing some network issues. Kindly be patient for a
Yeah,
few.
yeah. So I'm, so is my audible
Oh,
visible
okay.
now?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. It's
screen?
audible. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think I just don't want to share the screen. I think hope I can address your queries. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can. I just lost the last 10 messages. I think you can ping here. What are the queries you have?
Can
So
you
the
please
last
tell me?
question which we got is from Kevin John. That is, we couldn't understand the last part which you took, sir. I think that the hit button you added, no, sir. I think you want
Yeah,
to
Yeah, yeah.
explain.
So after that, yeah, yeah. So I think after adding the button, I think my mic was muted. So that's where.
thank you, Manikandan, for informing, sir.
Yeah, so yeah, basically what I did is like I just added a button. So let's say there is a p tag we added for one paragraph. So after that, we are adding a on click thing. Okay, so okay, let me share the screen. Sorry, I just forgot to share. Current screen. Yeah, is my screen visible now?
No, it's not.
Okay, hope it is visible now at least. Okay, yeah. So what I'm trying to say is it's like I just added a button. So after a button, there is a event. So let's say there's lot many event, guys. So it's not only on click. So if you just have on and if you just click space enter, so it will be popping out the other types. It may be on change and on click, on drag, whatever. So there's lots and option available. For now, we can use on click. Let's say we are using on click and calling a function. Let's call a function name as 𝗱𝗃. This actually it's a keyword, so it won't allow me to have the name like that. So yeah, so I just add the function here. After that, what we need to do is we need to call. Okay, this is yeah okay. So okay, this is we added a button. So we just calling a one function. Okay, we need to like already said, right? We need to have the function everything under a script tag. So to having a script tag, we can have it either inside the head tag or else you can add it either in the body. So let's say I am just gonna add it here inside the body. So that's it. It's a script tag. So here I just gonna call this function. You need to mention the function and function name. Maybe I can.
What does the script tag do?
Okay, yeah, like said, right? This is script tag. It is the JavaScript. So hope we just said about the what is the use of the JavaScript. Like so for making your website interactive, that's where the JavaScript chips in. So from here on, so whatever the call you make from the HTML file, so actually everything it's inside a file, but we need to give the JavaScript within a tag. So that's where like let's say we are adding a tags script, right? Okay, we can keep the script even here within a body, or else we can keep inside the head. That's up to you. But the use of the script tag, so after inside this, you need to call the what are the function you have it in your website, right? Let's say I have my function name like my function. So I just gonna call here like this is the function. This is syntax. I would say this is a function. You need to give a keyword. After that, my function. I just gonna call here. That's it. So inside here, I just gonna alert. So
hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, we can also, in the button name also we can use, na, sir?
Button name in the sense?
If, for example, we have to click a submit button, so so we can give the label as a button name, and value can be also given, right?
Yeah. So that's what I said earlier, right? So it's not about the everyone code at the same level. So it's up to their what to say. That's up to the coding style, right? So that's where there is a term. There is a code review. You will be hearing. Yeah. So there you need to maintain some of the coding standards. It's up to you, right? You can have it either here or you can have the script here. That's up to you. But thing is, it will work. Eventually, it will work. For now, as it's just a beginner section, I just popping out, just mentioning everything aloud. Yeah.
Yes, sir. But I was thinking of an alternative wherein, we can give button name and value, and then if we are using the CSS file, so there we can write a dot class. So that would also do, right?
Dot class in the sense you are gonna add a style to this button.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Eventually you can, right? So if you so far I haven't had any styles. For here, if you see there is a tag for class, or there you can use for ID, whatever. I just don't want to get into much stuff today itself. So that's where so you can keep ID for you can hope you know what's difference between ID and class, right? If you
Yes,
name it as a class, So you just need to access via dot operator. If you're using ID, you need to access via hash. So this is the different stuff. So predominantly, if you wanna invoke the button with the CSS as well as the JavaScript, we can do it in one line. Yeah, it will work.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, okay, so okay, done with the okay. Any other stuff, guys? So it's just the basic beginner level, I would say. So maybe we can push a little bit of faster tomorrow. I just don't want to go at this speed. Hope it will helpful for some, but maybe for some they may think it just too slow. I think we can wrap everything. Maybe we can quickly move tomorrow better. So
I said thank you so much, sir, for the valuable questions. And guys, we stay connected. Wish you we connect by tomorrow the same time, 4:30 p.m. Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
So can we leave now or do we stay?
Yeah, you may leave the